Good evening. Welcome to another Sunday stream. Game week 16 is over. FPL is finished for like 42 or 43 days, something like that. I don't know how long this one will be because obviously there's so much to wait for over the World Cup in terms of injuries and stuff. But we'll see how you all got on. We'll see how I got on. Another pretty rubbish game week, to be honest. Haaland is just rubbish at FPL. He's not very good at football. But importantly, Danny Ward is on the wall. He's on the wall. He's up. My finger will disappear, yeah, because of the green screen. He's that way. He's up there somewhere. There, that. It's hard to point. Danny Ward's on the wall. 11-pointer. Absolutely ridiculous. 11 points. Like, my voice has gone a bit. I went to our FPL meetup in Galway yesterday. My voice is not doing great, which is not ideal because I've got a lot of videos to. I've got a lot of videos to make tomorrow. Am I leathered? No. I am very tired, though. I'm very tired. I've had to do some work today when I didn't want to. And my voice has kind of gone a little bit. I paced myself really well for about 7 to 8 hours, and then it just all went to pot. Permanent captain, Danny Ward. Absolutely. Danny Ward is a legend. He's literally on the wall. He's on the Legends wall. You had Ward on the bench, 53 points, very nice. 70, I didn't play Ward. Wow. That is crazy. I'm after downloading Fantasy for World Cup. I'm not sure on the app. There's no app, I don't think. Yes. Oh, am I going to be making videos about teams for after the World Cup? Yes, 100%. There's going to be... Oh, hang on. Okay, so I just wanted to bring this up because... Oh, there's the FIFA app, isn't it, right? But it doesn't work, does it? I thought I saw people saying it doesn't have fantasy on it. Bought in Darwin for a hip. Glad it paid off. Yeah, very nice. I wanted Darwin Nunez. Just couldn't afford him. Jesus blanked. Really frustrating. I guess Martial blanked too. He would have been the other one that I would have looked at. So yeah, anyway, I wanted to show you Danny Ward. But we get off the wall. So I got 41 points. Like, it wasn't that big of a red arrow drop. I went from like 593,000 to like 710. It was just all a bit... Oh, I haven't got my points up. Hang on. It was just a bit rubbish. Danny Ward kind of saved the day. Solanke got 5. Martinelli's okay. But the thing is, I owned 3 Arsenal attackers. And the one that got points was the highest owned. I needed something from Saka and Jesus. And Haaland. Oh my God. Haaland. For anyone that's not been following along, this is my points total. These are my points. This is what Haaland has scored before captaincy when I've captained him. 1, 2, 5, 6 and 6. I've captained him 5 times and he's got, what's that, 6, 12, 17... 18. He's got me 20 points from 5 captains, so 20 into 40. And if you captain him against Man United, you got 23 points. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I guess the only good thing for me is Salah didn't go mad. Like, because I saw a lot of smug Salah captainers once Haaland blanked. And he did outscore him, to be fair, by 1 point. But, yeah, still annoying. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens after the break. Obviously, Haaland will be in the team as long as he's fit. Brentford were pretty good, yeah. Man City diving around a little bit, maybe you could say. Some people might say that Man City were diving a bit. Like, Haaland he seems to be on the ground a lot. I'm not saying he didn't dive, by the way, I don't think, but he was on the ground a lot. Will I be getting Nunez after the World Cup? That depends on a few things. From what I've looked at on wildcards, you basically have to decide. Obviously, there's different ways to build in the team, but a lot of players are going to be in a lot of people's teams. I think people will have Salah. We'll see, but I think they'll have Salah, Martinelli, Saka, Wilson, Haaland, and once you have Gab, probably an Arsenal defender, probably Trippier. Right, once you have those players, you've kind of then got to decide: do you go for one premium defender like a Trent or a Cancelo, or do you have someone like Nunez up front? Or if Diaz and Jota are back, and then that means there's a minutes issue potentially for Nunez. I've even had a look at like Bruno Fernandes in a 3-5-2, which sounds crazy. I don't think Bruno Fernandes is like a very good long-term pick, but But in the first 3 game weeks, once we get back from the World Cup, they've got Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest at home. So I'm tempted to go for a punt. The only thing is, if you then want to shift the money into Nunez, that's obviously 2 transfers. So it might just be easier to start with the forward. So we'll see. We'll see. Like, I think I'm just looking at potential options at this point. You don't need to lock anything in with 6 weeks to go, you know? Yeah, Rodrigo been pretty good. I can't believe it. Like, Spurs can't keep getting away with this. Conceding goals. Loads of goals and still winning matches. I mean, maybe they've been a bit unlucky at times, but like they conceded 3 goals to Leeds and they still managed to score 4. They conceded twice to Bournemouth. They managed to score 3. For a team that like everyone thinks is quite boring, they do score quite a few goals. Price changes are locked now. Yes, I'm not drunk in the slightest. I mean, I haven't had a drink for about I don't know, nearly what 20 hours. I test Darwin. Oh yeah, Salah was quite close to one of the tap-ins. Saka was also behind Odegaard for one of the goals as well. Could have been so much different. Could have been so much different. Danny Ward is the new 2018 Salah. Honestly, Danny Ward has been ridiculous. Like, he probably conceded too many goals at the start, and now he's keeping too many clean sheets. Like, it will definitely not be like this, obviously, for the rest of the season. It will be probably a little bit more up and down, I would say. I could be tempted to go with Ward and Everson, though, after the break. Because if you look at their fixtures, like, first 2 aren't necessarily great. Newcastle at home, Liverpool away. Then it's Fulham, Forest, Brighton, Villa away. Spurs and Man United, Arsenal. I think it depends if you need the money. Like, it's not ideal, but the thing with the thing with unlimited transfers, you've got a second wild card. So this team doesn't have to last you until the end of the season. So I could be tempted to go for Ward and Everson. I think the goalkeeper that I would really want, despite how they're playing at the moment, is probably the Chelsea goalkeeper. And I would assume if he's fit, that would be Kepa. But I guess it's a slight worry that, you know, maybe he just keeps Mendy in goal now. So that's the only issue, really. Odegaard on my bench. Ouch. Will I consider a 3-million Salah, Haaland and Kane? I don't see it, to be honest. Is bench boost good to play on Boxing Day? I mean, maybe if you've got a really good bench, but I've not looked at it, to be honest. So many people in my leagues with Ward on the bench. I mean, I would have played Pope ahead of Ward this week, and like, you got a clean sheet, but obviously, like, Ward getting 6 saves. It's so ridiculous. Enjoying the vid on Sunday with JD and Coat. Nice. I'm not drinking ever again. It wasn't that bad, actually. I'm just old now. Can we give it up for Maddison? What a season he's having. If he has a quiet World Cup, could be an overlooked gem. So, I'm going to do a first draft video at some point this week, and Maddison is in my team currently. It could be Zaha for the first couple of game weeks and then get Maddison, but yeah. Midfield spots are going to be the most interesting, possibly, but I feel like I'll almost certainly have Salah. I think I'll have 2 premiums, and Salah's not going to the World Cup. Villa, Leicester, Brentford, Brighton, Chelsea. I mean, it's not amazing, but I don't think it's that bad. So I will probably have Salah. Because, I mean, I always have Salah, right? Spurs fixtures maybe slightly better, maybe. Let's see how far Kane goes into the World Cup, I guess. They're already talking about how he's a bit fatigued. So I'll probably have Salah. And then you look at the Arsenal midfielders for game week 17. And again, the fixtures are not great, but Arsenal are pretty good. I don't think we can get rid of Martinelli if we've had him since 6 million. And Saka's on penalties, so he's pretty decent anyway. So if I have Saka, Martinelli and Salah, there's only really one midfield spot unless I go 3-5-2. So we'll see. We'll see. You look too much at fixtures. I mean, why would you not look at fixtures? You can't say that. You look too much at fixtures. Look what Tony did to City. You can't just say that. Like, Trossard against Chelsea and City. Sure. Trossard against Nottingham Forest. Nothing. What happened then? What about all the players that have blanked against Man City? You sound so ill. I'm not ill. My voice has just gone a little bit. That's all. Yes, there'll be plenty of videos coming. Don't worry. Plenty of videos coming. I mean, if we look at Tony, for example, anytime someone says you look at fixtures too much, I just think, yes, of course you do. Why wouldn't you not? Tony recently blanked against Wolves, blanked against Villa, blanked against Chelsea. So are we saying Chelsea's harder than Man City? 2 goals against Brighton, 1 goal against Newcastle. Blanked against Bournemouth, blanked against Arsenal. So are we saying that we only now get players in when they play Man City? Of course not. Of course not. It's just, that's just such a, saying you look at fixtures too much, look at Tony. That's very hindsight bias from this weekend. When people say let's focus on WC now, I don't know if they mean wildcard or World Cup. I'm done with Zaha. Madison will be coming in. It's vital to look at fixtures. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Like, football, like, sometimes things can be unpredictable. Of course. But how can you predict that? It's literally in the name. It's unpredictable. So you can't predict what's unpredictable. So you have to try and predict what's likely to happen. And therefore, fixtures are really important. And then after that, football happens sometimes. And players you think will do well don't. And players you don't think will do well do. And that's just how it's always worked. How it's always worked. Would I consider Garnacho? No, not really. I mean, maybe as a bench option, but the thing is, he's not going to play every single week. So it's probably better just to have Andreas Pereira, to be honest with you. Doodle, doodle, doodle. How would anyone even pick their team if they didn't look at fixtures? Exactly. Well, it doesn't matter, apparently. It's just form. Even though Tony's literally not... I mean, if we're talking form, as in, like, recent goals, someone like Tony's literally not been in form. He's literally not been in form. Like, before that Man City game, he hadn't scored or assisted for the previous 3 weeks. So surely, by that metric, he's out of form. He's out of form and had a bad fixture. Yeah, Rodrigo could be an option. I think a lot depends on Bamford. Can Bamford get fit? I just don't know. Because if he does, he'll usually play up front. So I did miss a couple of super chats. David, rank 125k, very nice. What's a realistic best rank finish? I mean, I don't know what the points differences are between that and number 1. I don't know if you can win it at this point. Like, that probably is a stretch. But top 1k, top 5k, easily doable. Not easy, but could be doable. A water closet, yeah. I think when we're looking at like unlimited transfer squads, we've just got to... I think for now it's too early to start worrying about what condition they're going to be in after the World Cup. I think we just pick. I think we just basically pick based on who looks the best option, then refine the team as we get closer to the deadline, and we know how many players have played, like who's come back early. Because some players we might be looking at might get knocked out early. Like England, if they win the group, I think, and France win the group, I think they'll meet in the quarterfinals. So if that happens. If that happens, the quarterfinals are like on the 9th and 10th of December. So if England were to get knocked out by France, then suddenly Saka and Kane and Mason Mount and Luke Shaw and all these players, I'm sure they'll get a little bit of time off, like and literally just a little bit, because it's not that long till the game starts. But that would be like another kind of just over 2 weeks until the Premier League's back. So they'd probably be okay. If England happen to get through, I'm not saying that's very likely, but it's possible, semi-final or whatever, then it gets a little bit more difficult. So we really need to just wait and see. Sheriff, how's it going? Had a great 6 weeks in a row. Rank after game week 10 was 4 million. Now I'm 780k. Very nice. You basically caught me up. Enjoy the break and thanks for amazing content. Thank you for watching. No, under Emery, will Villa players be more viable? Possibly, but again, you've got it's not like if you're going to buy Ings or Watkins, they've got to take up a forward spot, right? So one of them is reserved for Haaland. Newcastle got pretty good fixtures, so that could be Wilson. So it's just about fitting them in. Then you got like Leon Bailey, like he's probably only really going to come in instead of Andreas Pereira, possibly. Defenders, I'd rather have Gabriel, Trippier. So like, yes, they probably are better under Emery, but it's whether or not they just fit into our squad. So I don't even know what their fixtures are like, to be honest. It's not necessarily about how good they are, it's about how good everyone else is. I mean, they come straight back to Liverpool at home and Spurs away, so I'd say it's probably just a hard avoid, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see. Never say never. Never say never. I saw a few people... what did I just see in the chat there? I think I saw something about Nunez. I saw a few people that were on Nunez captain up until Haaland was started and they switched. That could be nice. How did I do in the cup? So I think I was winning by 2. But they had Andreas Pereira to come. How did he get 0 points? Yellow. Oh no, sorry, that's idiot. 2 points. 0. I'm looking at 0 goals, 0 assists. So I think we might have drawn. Yeah, we're both on 41. I don't know what it comes down to then. Is it goals scored? Is it goals scored? I don't know what the rules are in the cup. Oh yeah, most goals scored. If a cup match is drawn, the following tiebreaks are applied until a winner is found. Most goals scored, then fewest goals conceded, and then virtual coin toss. So I have no goals. Right? Yeah, I've got no goals. Have they got a goal? No goals this week. Like, what a rubbish week. They have also... Oh, they got Kane. So I'm out. I'm out. Kane scored. Oh, well. There's that fun cup over again. The cup is like... It's just there. It's so bad. I would say that if I went through, by the way. You know that. I want to see it where you can... You know my idea for the cup, where you can just make a free hit team every single week. Does the cup take hits into account? Yeah, I think so. But I don't think my opponent took one. No, unfortunately not. So I'm out. I'm out of the cup. Even Danny Wall couldn't save me. What a nightmare. I don't know how I'll sleep tonight now. Probably quite well, because I'm knackered. Probably quite well. Tough call between De Bruyne and Salah post-World Cup. I think Man City's fixtures aren't great. Like, obviously, they're the best team. Well, you know, Arsenal are pretty good. But you say Man City is still the best team in the league, so obviously they can still get points. But I think the first two are good. Leeds away, Everton at home. Then it's Chelsea away, Man United away. I mean, to be fair, I know they could go and smash Man United again. Don't get me wrong. Spurs away, though, it's... I don't know. I don't know how to feel about them. I think I'd probably take Salah over De Bruyne, but I've done that all season. It hasn't necessarily worked out that well. With Isak, will Almiron still be a great option? I mean, that's hard to know. If Isak's fit, Almiron might start getting less minutes. But obviously, he's playing so well. It's hard to know. Like, if St. Maximin gets fit as well, there's suddenly like a lot of attackers they could play. Luis Diaz, yeah, could be an option, but let's see if he can get fit first. Will I make a Discord? I've got a Discord for like YouTube members and Patreons. I don't have a public one. I don't think that Almiron's going to make my team for Game Week 17, but again, I've not given it a huge amount of thought. When Diaz is back, Salah's going to be playing wide right mid. What? No, I don't think that's necessarily true at all. They've basically gone back to a 4-3-3. I mean, they played... I didn't actually see the game yesterday because it wasn't on TV, but they played 4-3-3 again yesterday, didn't they? I don't see why Diaz would mean 4-4-2 necessarily. Liverpool versus Southampton. Of course, Trent conceded again because he's rubbish. Yeah, it's 4-3-3. So I think like Diaz will just come in on the left, and it'll be Firmino or Nunez in the middle. You'd assume, right? Everyone who loses in the cup thinks the cup is rubbish. I like the cup for one more game. Honestly, if you've watched my videos for a while, you know I just don't care about the cup. Like, of course, if I was going through to the later rounds, maybe I'd be a little bit more interested, but I don't know the person that I'm playing. I'm setting up my team to get the most points over X amount of game weeks. I'm not worried about this one game week. It's just, I just don't care about it. I really don't. It's just not engaging at all. It's just something that happens alongside what you're already doing. And it's like whatever, really. Like, fair play to the guy that beat me, I guess. Good luck for the rest of the cup. You see what I mean? Like, there's people in there, they've made it through, they didn't even know it was Cup Week. Like, it's just, no one really cares about that. I mean, I'm not saying and no one does. I'm sure some of you love it, but I don't know. I just don't care about it. Now, if it was like a free hit every single week, and you could go for like 1 week punts, players that maybe you just can't bring into your team because the other fixtures are bad, that'd be so much more interesting. Like this week, I would have had Nunez in there. I would have probably had Salah as well. I probably would have kept Salah because you know me. I would have definitely put Ivan Toney. No, I wouldn't have done that, of course. I would have had Harry Kane, who I don't have in my actual team against Leeds. I don't know who else I would have had, to be honest. I probably would have had a Man United player who blanked, so I probably would have gone out of the cup anyway. But still. My opponent in the cup had Trippier, Ward, Tony, Foden, and Nunez. Wow. They basically had literally every player that was actually good this week. Cup should be a separate squad with 5 transfers per week. No, I think it should just be a free hit. To be honest. Feels strange Premier League restarts on Boxing Day. Yeah, it's ridiculous, honestly. Having a World Cup in the middle of the season is absolutely ridiculous. And there's Carabao Cup fixtures before the Premier League starts. There's Carabao Cup fixtures like the day after the World Cup final. I think. Man United fixtures. So the World Cup's on the 18th of December. And Man United play Burnley in the Carabao Cup 2 days later. Now, look. It might be the case that Man United have got no players in the World Cup final, but it's still crazy. I mean, I don't know, Casemiro maybe for Brazil could do well. My opponent in the cup, triple captain Haaland. Oh my god. Happy with your subscriber count? Do you feel like you should have more by now? No, seems fine to me. Pretty happy about it. Like, I obviously, like, of course I want more subscribers and more views, because, like, why, it's YouTube, right? Why wouldn't you try and grow it? But I'm pretty happy with how things are right now. Why do they call you Slip? No one calls me that, apart from 2 people. How far will the Qatar national team progress? I mean, they'll probably go out in the groups, right? Was in a pub of the week in Gothenburg when the Newcastle game was on. I heard a guy go, "Yes, hammer and assist." I couldn't believe it. Like, the thing is, it was like, obviously you can't complain about it, right? We've all had assists like it, but it was such a fantasy assist. He just basically lost the run of the ball, and Willock smashes it in. It's not like he didn't even pass to him. He'd lost control of the ball, basically. Such a fantasy assist. But of course, if you had Amron, you'd be absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. I didn't watch the cricket, though. I don't really watch many other sports these days. Sometimes I drop in, but well, yeah, it was a good run. Like, Almiron's been brilliant. Can't take anything away from him. I've said this before, by the way, about Zaha. We've not really talked about him. He is that player that you kind of almost wish didn't have penalties. Just not that good at them. I haven't seen the penalty yet, but to put it wide, you've got to get it on target. If you weren't a YouTube creator, do you think that your overall rank was going to be better in general? Probably not. I don't think it would make too much difference. Will you drop a transfers video ahead of next games? I mean, yes, but like not for a long time. To be honest. I mean, like, it won't be transfer specific video, I guess. I think it's wise to make transfers now. There's no price changes, so it really doesn't matter. And transfers count towards like tiebreakers, I think, later on. Like, if there's a tiebreak, it might go down to transfers made. So you should probably just leave your team. Like, you can tinker around with it, just maybe don't confirm. There's no price changes now, so it's not going to matter. Like, there's a few players that rose in price last night, like to this morning, and like, if you had those players, you would have gained that value. But I mean, I was out. I completely forgot about it. So you might as well just leave it for a bit, to be honest. Darren, 58 points and top 50k. Very nice. Is it worth selling the players that you don't have money invested in and buying some that can gain a 0.2 price change? There's no price changes now until after the next deadline. Would you have agreed that Robertson was a better one-week punt than Trent? I would have probably just gone Trent, to be honest. Obviously didn't work like that, though. They're both really good, though. Well, actually, that's not true. They've both not been great because of Liverpool's defence, but in general, I like both of them. Yeah, Reece James is going to be an interesting one. We're going to have to see how fit he is. My only worry is if he comes back like kind of late, like just before the deadline. There's a deadline on the 26th of December and the 30th of December and the 2nd of January. So is Reece James going to play all 3 of those games? That seems unlikely. I think for my defence, I think my two main defenders on wildcard will be Trippier and Gabriel at Arsenal. I think I've got a triple up on Arsenal. So Saka, Martinelli and Gabriel probably look like the ones. Saliba's on 4 yellow cards. White's on 3. Gabriel's only on 1, I think, or maybe 2. Plus he's more attacking, I would say, than the other 2. And Jesus is also still on 4 yellows. So we've got to remember that. Like, when we go into game week 17, like, Gay's suspended. I don't think he's really going to be a big issue on wildcard, but he's suspended. Jesus, Mitrovic and Kane for forwards, they're all on 4 yellow cards. That shouldn't, like, stop us buying players completely, but we should think about it, right? So I won't go for Jesus. I will probably go for Saka, Martinelli and Gabriel. And so then there's like 3 more defender spots. I actually, right now, my draft that I made earlier, I actually have I have Gabriel, then double Newcastle, Botman and Trippier, and then double Man United, Dallow and Shaw. And Man United and Newcastle, like, you'd play Trippier every week anyway, but the Man United defenders and the Newcastle defenders, they rotate quite well. Not perfectly, but not bad either. And obviously Dallow has now served his suspension today, so he's now, another 5 yellow cards before he gets suspended again. It doesn't go up to 10 yellows for the next set of fixtures. Your team has to play 19 fixtures, and remember that they didn't play in game week 7. Like, no teams played in game week 7. Some teams missed in game week 8, I think, as well. I can't remember now. So if a team's only played 15 fixtures, let me have a look at the table. Yeah, so Arsenal have only played 14 games. Arsenal have to play another 5 games before that yellow card thing goes up. So Jesus would have to get through the next 5 games, otherwise he'll get suspended if he gets 1. Man City have only played 14 games. Newcastle have played 15, so it's another 4 for them. It's not 19 game weeks, it's 19 games for your team. So if we get to game week 20 and some teams have played 19, then it raises up to 10, but the other teams not necessarily. Would you consider moving to Saliba to Gabriel? Honestly, I think Gabriel is the best Arsenal defender anyway. I think he's more of a threat in the air than Saliba. Obviously, from what we've seen so far this season, Saliba can get attack and returns as well. But I think Gabriel's cheaper, and he's on less yellow card. I just don't see why you would go Saliba unless you got, some of you will have got Saliba really cheap, and then that is probably definitely worth holding on to. I think he started. Did he start at 4.5? Or am I talking rubbish? I think he might have started at 4.5, right? Yeah, and now he's more expensive than Gabriel. I just don't see why you wouldn't go for Gabriel, to be honest. Should we avoid Wilson considering Isak is coming back without any time at the World Cup? Not necessarily. Also, I remember that some players will be going away for the World Cup. A lot of those players will... Sorry, not a lot, but some of those players will not get many minutes. Callum Wilson's not going to get many minutes for England unless Kane gets injured. He might come on in games to give Kane a rest. He might come on in games to try and change the game, get 20 minutes, half an hour, or whatever. But the chances of Wilson playing lots of 90 minutes over the World Cup, not going to happen. Not going to happen. And if you go out in the quarterfinals or before, you got over 2 weeks till the next Premier League game, two or more weeks. So it's Isak will definitely get minutes, but I don't know if he's going to affect Wilson that much. Wilson will probably still keep penalties. And look, Isak's good. He might even make that Newcastle attack even better. So we'll have to see. Yeah, White's okay. I still think Gabriel's worth it if you got the money, though. Do you foresee any double gaming immediately after the World Cup? Arsenal, Everton, and Fulham, Chelsea could work one next to EFL. I don't know. I would just follow Ben Crellin on Twitter. He'll let you know. Yeah, of course. Wilson is injury prone, but I think if he's fit going into game week 17, you can probably afford to kind of go for him. Wilson won't even make the bench. He's just there to watch England. I think he would make the bench. Are they only allowed to take... Is it like 2... How many players are they allowed to have in the squad for a match? Is it 20? Because it was 23 last time, wasn't it? And there was 23 in the whole squad, and they had to leave. In the match day squad, it was only 20, wasn't it? 2 goalkeepers and 7 outfielders, maybe? So 9 subs. Is it 23 they're allowed this time? Because last time it was 23 for the whole squad, and they had to leave 3 out each game. Okay, so it's still 3 that miss out. Fair enough. So, like, for England, like, I'm looking at that squad, it would probably be, like... I mean, I think Southgate might mix it up. We didn't see the same 3 players always miss out, but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Gallagher is one of the players that misses out quite a bit. It won't be Wilson, anyway. Now, in the Euros, it was 23 and 20, I think. Do I have beans on toast for dinner or a fish finger sandwich? I think you go fish finger sandwich, to be honest. I think with those calls, you got to go gut instinct. And straight away, I'm thinking, yeah, fish finger sandwich. No, why would Wilson go on the wall? Also, do you want a sneak peek? Let me see here. Way. Who's this? De Bruyne. What are we saying? I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. I can. By the way, I've got the Photoshop file, so I can remove the England bunting as soon as they go out. As I said on the deadline stream. Like, if you think I'm biased towards Salah and Man United for FPL, just wait until you hear me talk about England. Everyone in the squad should be allowed on the bench. Yeah, I kind of agree. It seems a bit harsh to take them when they don't play, but I guess players know that, right? I'm trying to think in the England squad who will miss out in most matchday squads. Probably Gallagher, like I said. Maybe, and then probably a defender or 2. It would have been cooler if it were only Premier League players. Yeah, maybe. We've got the goat on the wall though. Aren't you Irish? Do you think I sound Irish, honestly? Am I trying to hide De Bruyne on purpose? Well, I didn't even decide which shirts were going to be on the wall, to be honest. So, no. Is the answer to that. If England win the World Cup, you have to go for a full English FPL team. No, I might not even be back for the deadline stream. I might not make it. World Cup Harry, how's it going? Is the World Cup deadline kickoff of the first game? Can't find it in the rules. I think so, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to look it up. It usually is, I think. Nah, I can't have Ward. Like, let's not go too crazy. The only thing is now, I can't remember where my... Oh, yeah, hang on. Where did I put the new one? There we go. Thoughts about Dr. Dre as captain? We've kind of forgotten about Dre. I probably wouldn't do it, though. Look, the greatest of all time is Messi. Like, come on, we don't need to. You know, it's not even a debate, really. I do have an Irish flag. I think when you pick the flag for FPL, you're basically picking where you live. So I live in Ireland. How am I against Ronaldo? I have to pick between 2 players who are the best of all time. That's like saying, like, you know, who's the better midfielder, De Bruyne or Fernandes? De Bruyne. Oh, you must hate Fernandes then. You must hate him. Honestly, people like people in these debates, like they're so weird. Ronaldo Colts. I did not watch the There we go. No. Will Ward be in your fantasy World Cup team? Maybe. I've actually got $1 million in the bank. That was smooth. Forgotten about Dre. I know. Yeah. Thanks. Who do you think is the best keeper in the Premier League? Alisson or Ederson? Alisson. Oh, gee, do you just hate Ederson? Do you just hate him? No, I just picked the one out of the two. That's all. Well, if I think Messi is the best player of all time, who do you think I would choose out of Haaland or Messi? It's not that easy unless you only look at the stats. Not a big fan of him, but Messi's slightly better stats. Tell only half story. I mean, stats are better, and like, you know, he's also amazing. To be fair, Ronaldo's like won a lot. Like, I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest. I think Messi's the best player. Ronaldo is also freaking brilliant, right? There has to be one winner. I don't even know why I put a poll up. It was just asking for trouble, wasn't it, really? it was asking for trouble. Top 3 players on the wall. Antonio. Who's it? McNeil, isn't it? McNeil. Antonio, Rafinha. I guess Salah, because like Salah is the GOAT of FPL. First Man United fans say that. I don't think so, no. Probably not. Can't believe you hate Pele. Pele does my head in, Pele. Who's got more points between De Bruyne and Salah? You already know the answer to that question. Who's do you think going to be top scorer at the World Cup? Harry Kane. Do I think Dele Alli will ever play for England again? No. I think he's done. Luca Dean for Game Week 19. Oh, can we really go there again? Not sure about that. Do I think wildcard is easy for Game Week 17? Ish, I guess. You must hate Dele Alli. Absolutely. Absolutely. Alright, so 69% are saying Messi. We'll just end it there. 31% of you, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, to be honest. Who would I start in goal for England? Pickford. Will I cry again when it doesn't come home? No. England win the World Cup or United win the league and you win FPL? Ooh. Oh. See, if you just said England win the World Cup or United win the league, that would have been easy. I would have chosen England. But when you add in the win FPL as well, I guess I think I would say England still. Win the World Cup. I'd say England win the World Cup. But winning FPL would be so massive when you do FPL for a living. We're not winning the World Cup, though. Do I reckon Netherlands has a chance at the World Cup? I mean, I guess maybe a slight chance. I haven't even looked up who the bookies' favourites are, but I guess Argentina, Brazil, Germany, Spain. I mean, they're all decent. I would say, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if there is like a standout team this time though. You know, like sometimes you go into this where they're really like. Let me have a quick look. Favourites World Cup 2022. Like sometimes there is just like a kind of either one or two like really heavy favourites. I don't know if there is this time. I think it is Brazil though, right? I do think. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Brazil, then Argentina, then France, then England, joint with Spain at the one I'm looking at. So look, yeah, Brazil. Then France, then Argentina, then England are ahead of Spain with the bookies. So England are fourth. Could they get to the semi-finals? The thing is, they'll meet if England win their. Oh, hang on, let me put this back on. If England win their group and so do France, they'll meet in the quarterfinals. So if France have got better odds of winning the whole thing, they'd also be favourites for that game. So yeah, I don't see it. Have I tried a Minnow X deal for that hairline? No, I don't care that much, you know. I'm not planning on modelling anytime soon. When am I doing World Cup content? From tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, that's just Bet365. I've got France. England have to get past Wales first. The It's Coming Home means we'll definitely start doing the rounds, yeah. It's coming, it's a thing. It's coming home. I hate those conversations where you're like, okay, just come second, you'll have an easier route. But like, I mean, even if you come second, surely you still face someone good pretty soon, right? Like, I think if you finish second, you'd face Netherlands, wouldn't you? If they win their group. Will I be doing any watch-alongs for the World Cup? I haven't really thought about it. I don't know, to be honest. Maybe. I do want to start up my other channel a bit more. Like, I've done a few videos. I just need some graphics doing for it. I need like a bit of a redesign on it. I've done a couple of videos. If you want to go and subscribe over there, we're nearly on 6,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I'd love to get maybe 10,000 by the World Cup's probably a bit too big spender. What do you mean? Oh. Let me just put this in the chat. Yeah, no, I think win it and then go and try and beat France, right? That would be huge. Yeah, I'm going to pin it now. I'm just finding the proper thing a sec. Oh, 10k by the World Cup? Maybe. Hang on, why is this so hard to do? Oh, there we go. I'll pin it. I'll pin it and spam it a little bit. I wouldn't expect as much content as on the FPL channel, but, you know, if you want to hear my rubbish about football, sure, go and subscribe. How hungover and unfocused is everyone going to be scrambling for the Boxing Day deadline? I'm pretty sure I'll be less hungover than I am now. How many points are you off the top 10k? Oh, must be pretty bad now. Might even be getting unobtainable, to be honest. Off the top 10k, I'm 82 points. So it's doable. It's doable. Like I'm 46 off top 100k. So I guess that's the next target, really. Hey, I'm allowed to spam. You can see it on Live FPL. Points difference. See it on livefpl.net. This game was so bad that I'm happy I don't have to play for a month. Fair enough. I think a lot of the times, like, people prefer. I always prefer to have. You always want a green arrow over red. Obviously, that's obvious. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice to get a green arrow going into a big break like this, I would say. Are you going to wear an English jersey in an Irish pub? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, Irish people are sound, but, you know, you don't want to push it too much. I probably won't even go to the pub to watch it. I'll just watch it at home. I'll definitely watch the Iran game at home. It's like 1 o'clock. Can a 2 million rank right now finish in the top 10k? If you're 2 million, you're like 120 points behind already. So maybe, but it'd be difficult. Are you still enjoying FPL? Does it feel like work now? I definitely still enjoy it. For what it's worth, Denmark have been good recently and beat France in the Nations. Could very feasibly top the group, meaning a nice-ish quarter-final. Yeah, but then I get it, right? I've been here talking about this kind of route, and, you know, if this team wins, that's easier. But if they beat France and they win the group, surely by default that makes it a harder game than playing against France. I get it. It doesn't quite work like that because I think even from like a psychological point of view, playing Denmark probably feels better than having to play France. But if they're that good, and they beat them. I think they beat them twice, didn't they, in the Nations League? I got a clean sheet against one. Then that's a hard game. Like, it was hard when we played them in the semi-finals in the Euros. Like, we definitely didn't make an easy job of that. I've got 2 Danish players in my World Cup fantasy team. Do you think Pep's next press conference will say Haaland is a bit better? We will see. We will see. Possibly, yeah. In my World Cup fantasy team, I've got 2 players that played in the Man United game. There we go. That's what I'll say. Can you guess who they are? I think it'd probably be quite obvious. Have you thought about going to watch the matches live in Qatar? No. Not at all. What overall rank do you think is still achievable? I think top 10k is achievable. But I think top 10k is still achievable. It'd be difficult though. Top 50k, definitely doable. Ericsson, Martinez, Tom Kearney. Boom. Mark Nash, straight in there. Ericsson and Shaw. I'm on double England defence. Shaw and Trippier. My So Rare team is much better now. Much better. I think I made a mistake that I kind of went for a good squad rather than a good 5 players. So I've gone really cheap now and made 5, like, I've got 5 good players basically. I'm out of the cup on goals scored. Will I be targeting players that aren't going to the World Cup for the Gameweek 17? Not necessarily. So I feel like a lot of the players that are playing at the World Cup are the better players, which are the ones we want. So by default, like, you kind of want them, right? I will be looking at how far players get, but you know, if a player goes to the World Cup and gets knocked out in the group stage, it's not going to be an issue, I don't think, for Game Week 26. How much is your team worth? I think when I do my selling value, so when I go to the transfer page and just remove everyone, it's 101.4. You bought any cards on Sorry, or just playing the World Cup game? Just for now, I'm just playing the World Cup game. Doodaloo. One thing I've learned from making the How to Play World Cup Fantasy 2022 video, people love an app. There's so many questions about where's the app. I just don't really use... I mean, of course I do. I guess I do use apps, right? Like Twitter and Facebook. I don't go to facebook.com and twitter.com. But for FPL and stuff like that, I always use the website. I very rarely use the app. Am I worried that Nico Williams and Brennan Johnson will terrorise Maguire? I mean, I'm worried about Maguire in general, to be honest. I don't think... I would probably play 4 at the back and not have Maguire, but... You don't have a smartphone, so no apps. Really? I feel like... I mean, I'm on my phone too much, but in general, I feel like it's just hard not to have a phone these days. If you had to be a different nationality than English, what would it be? And you can't say Brazilian. That is so random. I've got to pick another nationality, but I can't choose Brazilian. I don't really know, to be honest. I love the app for easy accessibility, but the World Cup one is terrible. I've not tried it yet. Just quit on Trent. Yeah, maybe. Rafinha got on the wall because he was just like one of my favourites. A very talked about player and on the channel, basically. I can tell you work from home. Teacher means I'm never at a computer. Apps are essential to get by. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that makes sense. I do use my phone a lot, but I still I do. Look, I'm not sitting here saying I don't use apps. Of course I do. But for like fantasy football or whatever, I just never use it. I always go onto the website, even on my phone. How did you get your apps from Android to Apple? I didn't. I just downloaded them all again. It was a good chance for a clear out, to be honest. I did enjoy the Garnacho winner. I need to watch it again in real time, but it looked like the burst of pace was just ridiculous. It was almost like the defender just didn't think Garnacho was ever going to get to it, and he just did. What time did you end up going to Steep yesterday at the FPL meetup? Oh, I don't know, maybe 3:30. Christmas will be over when FPL returns. Absolutely. Is 3 million the way after the break? I don't think I'm going to be on 3 million, but I'll look at it. I'll look at it. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there because obviously there's so much still to consider before we start making our team. So I'll have some FPL stuff over the break. I'll do some World Cup stuff as well, starting tomorrow. Hopefully, as long as my voice comes back a bit overnight, we'll see what happens. But thank you for watching. Give the video a like if you haven't already. Obviously hit subscribe. If you want to see, if you're looking forward to World Cup Fantasy, there'll be videos. If you're not, there'll still be some FPL ones dotted about anyway. Obviously you don't have to watch the World Cup stuff, of course, if you don't want to. So yeah, if you're not playing at all, absolutely fair play. I kind of wish I could do the same, right? Just take the whole 6 weeks off. That'd be real nice. But yeah, don't tinker too much. Lots could change over the next couple of weeks. But either way, I will have videos, World Cup videos, FPL videos, and I will see you very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. See ya soon.